When CM Punk was in his prime, he was one of the most electrifying and controversial figures in professional wrestling. Known for his controversial yet exciting promos and unmatched charisma, Punk held the WWE Championship for 434 days, the longest reign of the modern era. He delivered unforgettable matches against the likes of John Cena, The Rock, and Brock Lesnar. But Punk wasn't just a master on the mic. He was also a skilled technician in the ring, blending striking and submission holds, though his UFC career showed that maybe he should have stuck to wrestling. Now, CM Punk is back in WWE, but many say his prime was just different. So, how good was prime CM Punk really? To answer that, we have to go back to where it all began. Long before the sold-out arenas and marquee matches, CM Punk, born Philip Jack Brooks, was carving out his path in the backyard promotion Lunatic Wrestling Federation. It was here that he donned the name CM Punk, sparking endless speculation about its meaning. Fans threw out guesses ranging from Cookie Monster to Chicago Made, but Punk kept the mystery alive, offering a different explanation every time. Years later, during a court case, the truth finally came out. CM stood for Chick Magnet, a reveal that Punk himself joked wasn't quite as exciting as the speculation. But there was nothing underwhelming about Punk's rise to prominence. His career truly took off in Ring of Honor, ROH, where his straight-edge persona, a reflection of his personal commitment to sobriety, became a central part of his character. His heated feud with Raven, where Punk's lifestyle clashed with Raven's addiction issues, took on a deeply personal tone, setting the stage for the fierce competitor he would become. By the time Punk arrived in WWE, his rebellious attitude and straight-edge persona were well established. His feud with Jeff Hardy, where he criticized Hardy's struggles with substance abuse, added layers of controversy and depth to his character. Punk wasn't just a talented wrestler, he was a provocateur, unafraid to speak his mind and challenge the status quo. The infamous Summer of Punk storyline in ROH, where he threatened to take the ROH Championship to WWE, showcased his ambition and drew major attention, further cementing his status as a rising star. By 2011, Punk had built a reputation for his in-ring skills, his biting promos, and his unfiltered honesty, setting the stage for his unforgettable run in WWE. But if there was one moment that truly defined CM Punk's prime, it was the now iconic pipe bomb promo. On the June 27, 2011 edition of Raw, Punk did something that no one saw coming. He shattered the fourth wall. After attacking John Cena, Punk casually sat down on the ramp, microphone in hand, and launched into one of the most talked about promos in wrestling history. He aired out WWE's backstage politics, called out Vince McMahon by name, and even referenced Ring of Honor, Colt Cabana, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. In one of his most shocking lines, Punk declared that WWE would only improve after McMahon was dead, before his microphone was cut off, leaving the wrestling world buzzing with excitement and controversy. What made this promo so unforgettable was how it blurred the lines between reality and fiction. While it was part of a planned storyline, Punk's frustrations were very real, and fans could feel that raw emotion. It resonated with people who had long felt that WWE's product had grown stale, and it made CM Punk the voice of a disillusioned fan base. Just a few weeks later, on July 17, 2011, Punk delivered again, this time in the ring. At Money in the Bank 2011, in front of a red-hot hometown crowd in Chicago, Punk faced John Cena for the WWE Championship in a match that lasted 34 minutes of pure drama. When Punk pinned Cena and won the title, the crowd erupted into deafening cheers. To top it off, Vince McMahon ordered Alberto Del Rio to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, but Punk had other plans. After laying Del Rio out, he famously blew Vince a kiss and disappeared into the crowd, leaving with the WWE Championship and sending a clear message of rebellion. For a brief moment, it felt like Punk was going to take the belt to another promotion, perhaps even repeating his Summer of Punk storyline from ROH. But to the disappointment of many fans, Punk returned just 3 weeks later, only to lose the title at SummerSlam to Del Rio after a cash-in. It was a moment that many saw as a missed opportunity, an abrupt end to what could have been a much longer, more impactful story arc. The Summer of Punk storyline blurred the lines between reality and fiction, creating a buzz that hadn't been seen in wrestling for years. Some even hailed it as the best WWE storyline in 2 decades, filled with unpredictability and depth. However, what started as one of the most exciting angles in wrestling history was quickly fumbled by WWE, especially after Punk's underwhelming feuds with Kevin Nash and Triple H, where the game's victory over Punk at Night of Champions was seen as a major blow to his momentum. Despite WWE's mishandling of the Summer of Punk, CM Punk's momentum didn't completely stall. What followed was perhaps the most defining period of his career, the beginning of his historic 434-day reign as WWE Champion, the longest of the modern era. Punk's title reign kicked off at Survivor Series 2011, where he defeated Alberto Del Rio to claim the WWE Championship. Over the next 434 days, Punk cemented himself as the best in the the world, a title he proudly proclaimed during every promo. His reign wasn't just about holding the belt, it was about consistently delivering some of the most engaging, technically sound matches of his career. Whether he was facing John Cena, Chris Jericho, or The Rock, Punk elevated every bout, showcasing his versatility in the ring. One of the standout rivalries during this period was with Cena. Their chemistry was undeniable, and their series of matches, particularly the ones at Night of Champions 2012 and Hell in a Cell, were praised for their storytelling and intensity. Punk wasn't just Cena's foil, he was his equal, if not superior, in terms of in-ring psychology and character depth. In early 2012, Punk turned his attention to Chris Jericho, leading to one of the most personal feuds of his career. Jericho targeted Punk's straight-edge lifestyle, bringing up his family's history with alcoholism in an attempt to rattle him. This feud led to unforgettable matches at WrestleMania 28 and Extreme Rules 2012, where Punk's resilience shone through as he defended both his title and his personal integrity. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing during Punk's reign. In July 2012, during Raw 1000, Punk made a pivotal decision that would shape the rest of his title run. He turned heel. After attacking The Rock, Punk cited a lack of respect from both the WWE Universe and management, feeling that despite his achievements, he wasn't given the recognition he deserved. This heel turn added layers to his character, as Punk embraced the darker, more cynical side of his persona, while still delivering top-tier performances in the ring. Perhaps the most significant turning point came in early 2013, when Punk's frustration with WWE's reliance on part-timers reached a boiling point. His feud with The Rock led to their match at Royal Rumble 2013, where after 434 days, Punk finally lost the WWE Championship. For Punk, this was more than just a title loss. It was symbolic of his growing disenchantment with WWE's booking decisions. He had spent over a year carrying the company, only to be dethroned by a part-timer, which further fueled his bitterness toward WWE's management and its treatment of full-time talent. Even so, Punk's matches throughout his reign were consistently lauded for their quality. Whether he was brawling in an Extreme Rules match or putting on a technical showcase, Punk adapted to any style and opponent, all while telling intricate, emotionally driven stories in the ring. Many of his matches earned Match of the Year nominations, solidifying his spot as one of the top stars in the company. Though his reign ended in frustration, Punk's 434 days as champion remain a testament to his unmatched talent, his relentless drive, and his ability to elevate both himself and the product around him. But it wasn't just his wrestling that made CM Punk a phenomenon. It was his persona. Punk was never your typical WWE superstar. He thrived as an anti-hero, an outsider who rejected the corporate mold WWE often tried to impose on its talent. His straight-edge lifestyle, which set him apart from the rest of the roster, became a cornerstone of his character. He didn't drink, didn't smoke, and didn't do drugs. And he wasn't shy about letting everyone know it. Punk turned what could have been seen as a limitation into one of his most powerful tools, leaning into the idea that he was different and unapologetically rebellious. This anti-establishment, straight-edge persona resonated deeply with fans who were growing tired of WWE's often polished, corporate-controlled image. Punk's authenticity was his superpower. He wasn't playing a role, he was CM Punk, and his willingness to speak his mind, both in and out of character, gave him a unique relatability. Fans who felt disillusioned with WWE's sanitized product found in Punk a voice that echoed their frustrations. Whether he was calling out the company for pushing part-timers like The Rock or criticizing management's treatment of talent, Punk wasn't afraid to say what others wouldn't. His underdog appeal and real-life criticisms of WWE helped him build a passionate following that saw him as one of them, a fan who made it to the top while refusing to compromise who he was. And then there were his promos. If Punk was dangerous in the ring, he was deadly on the mic. He had an innate ability to blur the lines between storyline and reality, making his words feel genuine. His pipe bomb promo remains one of the most memorable moments in WWE history, not just because it broke the fourth wall, but because it felt real. When Punk sat cross-legged on the stage and tore into Vince McMahon, John Cena, and the entire WWE system, it wasn't just another promo, it was a manifesto. He criticized WWE's backstage politics, their reliance on part-timers, and how he felt overlooked despite being the best in the world. It struck a nerve with fans, many of whom shared his sentiments. But Punk's ability on the mic wasn't limited to intense shoot promos. He could be funny, sarcastic, and still drive his point home. His wit and humor made his promos not just impactful, but also incredibly entertaining. Whether he was verbally dismantling an opponent or taking jabs at WWE's management, Punk delivered his lines with a sharpness that few could match. CM Punk's return to WWE has reignited excitement among fans, but it also highlights the difference between the Punk of today and his prime. In his prime, Punk was a trailblazer and a voice for the voiceless, shaking the foundations of WWE with his pipe bomb promo and straight-edge lifestyle. He connected deeply with with fans, challenging norms and pushing boundaries. Today, while Punk still has the charisma and mic skills, the wrestling landscape has changed. His rebellious spirit is now part of a more corporate WWE environment, and some fans feel his prime years are behind him. So, was Prime CM Punk as good as people say he was? Absolutely. His impact on wrestling is undeniable, bringing authenticity and passion that influenced a generation. Even if his current run doesn't capture the same magic, his legacy as a movement and a legend remains indelible. Imagine Prime CM Punk facing off against the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. What a rivalry that would have been. While we might not have Punk versus Reigns yet, Reigns has already had a legendary rivalry with one of Punk's rivals, Brock Lesnar. But their rivalry was rough at the start, but Triple H saved it. How? You can watch the video on the screen for that.